Yo, what's good, everybody? Hope you're all doing well out there. Happy Monday. We are not making weapon sounds today. What are we making? Cinematics. Volume 2. Everybody have a good weekend? Come back refreshed or completely spent or inspired, completely burnt out, somewhere in between. What's up with you guys? What are you working on this week? I am going to dig into something new, and I'm fighting urges, you guys. I've been sent a whole bunch of stuff over the past few weeks, and I told everybody, hey, I'm going to pump the brakes just a little bit. We're going to get your plugins featured here in just a little bit, but I got to get some things done first. And I really want to get started on this next release before I start digging in. But there's some really cool things to show you guys, and we're a little bit behind on one of them. A company called Dawson. They just do amazing, next level, next gen stuff, and I'm really excited to dive into a few of their products specifically. But I think the whole ecosystem that they have built is pretty amazing. I'm really stoked to dig into the granular stuff with you guys. Completely different take on stuff. So I guess I'm just going to be kind of teasing this for a couple of days because we're not going to have a stream on Wednesday this week, in 2 days. I'm going to go play chaperone for a field trip on a farm, but we'll be back to our normally scheduled mayhem later in the week. But I'm planning on next week just being like a full-on deep dive, I think, into these new toys and see what kind of just incredible stuff we get up to. Yeah, really phenomenal stuff. Let's see who's here. Zin's here. Dremic is here. 5 gummies. Just for showing up. Nice. Olivia's here. Hey, Liv. Paul's here. Paul, hey, you've got new dialogue samples. I don't know if you've heard this yet, but you do. You have new dialogue samples. Wolfie's here. How you doing, Wolf? Saffron, how are you doing? I get to see you this week, I believe. HR Terrors in the chat. How are you, sir? Wolfie's saying, I had the best meal tonight. Very large chicken schnitzel with mushroom sauce. I had fries. Nice, dude. Nice. Cook it up at home or you go out? Ooh. 2 million gamer score over the weekend, says HR Terror. Got 2 that total over the weekend. Oh, that's funny. Got that delicious meal ordered in. Excellent. Getting on my words backwards today. All right, so today we're going to do impacts. I think we're going to dwell mostly in kontakt. We'll just throw a whole bunch of stuff in there. We can kick some garage doors. We can slam some cupboards. You know, the usual. Maybe we'll find some objects in a warehouse, slam those around a bit. Yeah. If anyone is interested in hearing some of the atmospheres that were done last week, we can do that. We can also dig into any sound pack you like and do some listening today. I'm trying to stay committed to the requests that were put forward toward the end of the year last year when I was asking for everybody's input about what they want from streams. And there were a lot of people that just wanted some time spent in sound packs, just wanting to know what is inside of these things, how they can be used, that kind of thing. So anybody wants to do a deep dive into any specific sound pack, whether they be OhmLab or Sound Freaks, it's totally fine. Or any of the stuff that I've done for the Ghost Hack Label 2, I guess. So we're always doing that stuff here on stream. And otherwise, I'm going to be, yeah, I'm just going to be kicking things and slamming things, and trying to make them sound kind of cinematic in the process. Hey, Iron Nip is here. How you doing, man? And it's tossing Nintendo. Me. Garage door band instead of a garage band. Yes, exactly. Yes. The hebephrenic righteous terror. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, it just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? Oh, cooked but keeping on. I hear you, brother. I'm glad you're keeping on. Glad you're keeping on. Hope you're no more than medium rare right now. Hey, STP is here. Speaking of Atmos, Apple Music has an awesome interview with Brian Eno. Ooh, Brian Eno interview. Also, have you seen a couple of the things that Apple has done with the Apple TV platform and their brand? Who has tuned into Severance? Raise of hands, show of hands. For those who have and those who are Apple fans, if you go to the website, I don't know if you've seen this over the last couple of weeks, but if you go there, you can see the Lumen workstation. I don't think you can actually purchase it. They should make it something that you can purchase. It's like stick the old Apple IIe brain in there or something. That'd be awesome. Anyway, the other thing that I noticed that they did, which I think is just as equally as cool, is they've started putting out some YouTube channel content or their Apple TV Plus channel. So you can sit there and listen to like some lo-fi Severance for 8 hours at a time. And you've got slow-mo visuals of them in their cubicle space and whatnot. It's that's pretty great. Like it kind of shows that they're getting where everyone is right now. Pretty awesome. I think it's pretty great. Oh, wait, what? Saf says, I noticed Necromancer by William Gibson is on Apple TV. I didn't notice that. I'll watch it. Liv says, I actually make it a point not to watch whatever the rest of the country is watching. Never saw Breaking Bad, never saw Game of Thrones, and frankly, I think I intend to never see Severance just to keep up the streak. I hear it's great TV, though. There's plenty of time to watch these things when you retire, right? It'll be totally relevant. Ooh, Saf is watching the Ozarks, which is just fantastic. Just fantastic. What would you hang in the cave if you did live in the cave north of nowhere? What would you hang in your, make it your cave? Retire in this economy? No, it's like my best joke ever, isn't it? It's like I almost said it with a straight face too. Yeah, there's no retirement. There's no retirement. I think we used to say cliche things like do something you love so you never feel like you're actually working or stuff like that. But really what it's about is do what you love because you're going to do it forever. Forever. A mountain fortress. Syndremic wants a mountain fortress. E and tech gear. Never leave. I think there's a lot of people that would like that. I think so. Iron Imp says something I've kind of observed about classic cyberpunk stuff people often cite, like Necromancer, Blade Runner, etc., is that for all the future shock, high-tech, low-life vibe, it's always overlapping with the scenery of the Baroque and antiquated. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's almost as if there is some steampunk culture that will never actually leave cyberpunk core or something. Yeah. Velvet Goat Cheese, welcome in. Happy Monday to you. Good to see you. Saying, do what you love as long as you do not mind despising it later. Hey, there you go, right? Right? That's why I will never make video games. Right? Oh, yes, yes. Zen. 27 7. Best game. Don't at me. Oh, golly. Okay. Yeah, I need to be highly productive. So many different ways. I need like 6 interns is what I need. For like just for like a few months, if I could just get like 6 interns, they're just like, what do you need now? All hands on deck. Flipping glorious. What are we doing? We're gonna make cinematic impacts. So I'm gonna grab an instance contact. I need to go through all of my sound packs yet again and get them prepped for yet another marketplace, and I'm tired of doing this. I've always complained about this. Nothing new, but I have to do it all again, and I feel like I just did this because I just did it like a couple of weeks ago, 2 months ago, maybe. I don't know. But whenever I have stuff like that looming, I feel like, man, I'm not getting enough done. So I'm going to have to stop and be very static and idle for a couple of days. We're going to go into our percussive kits here, and we're going to hit some organic drums and metals surfaces of different types, and then we're going to, I think, maybe just load up some random like warehouse, factory, garage type sounds. All right, let's stop this background noise. And get this volume up. And we're going to solo this. We're going to take out this loop. We're just doing all sorts of stuff here. Metals. Let's go for metals first. Let's go for a good old-fashioned dumpster. Everyone loves a good old-fashioned dumpster. Syndromic. I want to make an MMO. Don't at me about how impossible that is. I don't want to hear it. Harsh my mood. I keep re-rolling. In a knives only run. I'm glad you don't mind. Syndromic says, I live stream it, but I whisper, so people find me weird, but I don't mind. That's cool. Ooh, dates and dark chocolate. A mode. Connected's here. What's up, dude? Happy Monday to you. CBR has a kit that has some really good impact sounds. Ooh, robotic feels. Syndromic says, OhmLab, I am curious, is there such a thing as a market for experimental sound design packs, or is that just sound design? May I introduce you to OhmLab? Sounds left of center. Yeah, there are. There is a market for experimental sounds and stuff. It's more about how you package them, which of course really drives how people browse for them, etc. If you were to listen to something like to my stuff here. Yeah, like there's definitely plenty of people that love this kind of stuff. It's pretty out there stuff. It's pretty experimental, but there's a market for it, and it really kind of depends on what the intended audience is, like what you're hoping um, people will use it for, which kind of dictates how you're going to package it, and then that, of course, kind of dictates how people are going to find it ultimately. So yeah, you tend to see stuff like really experimental in a few different areas. One, food or fuel for tools, right? So weird batches of sounds that you can put into very specific types of samplers or synths that can get you a specific kind of outcome. That's one way you typically see them. Another is sold as like experimental, right? And then they put some sort of a theme to it so people understand in what kind of realm are we dwelling here. So it could be like modular experimental or experimental video game weapon sounds or whatever it is, right? So as long as you put like some kind of a name or a category on it before you just call it straight up experimental, you're probably going to find an audience for it. Because there's always going to be a big need for the stuff that isn't the vanilla. Because, I mean, if you think about it, like you walk into an ice cream shop, everything is sprinkles and sauce, right? It's same with music. Like we've got 12 notes, we got to pretty them up somehow. So we get in there with some really weird stuff sometimes. Experimental's got value. Got value. Yeah, Iron Imp is saying the same thing. I think people want experimental sounds, but it's probably better to market around a specific theme. Connected Beats saying, you have the most mature energy on Twitch, and I really appreciate that, seriously. Thanks, homie. Sin says, I mean, yes, but you usually make cinematic stuff normal-ish. Well, that's just it. Okay, so I've decided that in my effort to continue to straddle both screen and speaker for all these years, when I'm going for screen, I'm aiming for the stuff that people uh, desire the most and like crave the most. And yeah, a lot of that is what people think as mainstream cinematic. But if you really stop and think about what's happening here, it's like experimental musical elements that have been exploited in weird and cool ways to trigger us in different ways. That's pretty cool. But then for the speaker side of thing, I just told myself a long time ago, like, why make normal? Everybody has normal. Why shoot for the center of the target? Anyone can get good at shooting for the center of the target. Um, the stuff that comes with your DAW is all of the stuff that people try to sell in sound packs, it seems. So I personally, I like aiming for left of all of that by a fair margin and seeing how other people get inspired by it and whatnot. So yeah, normal and then take a turn. It's like tangential. I can not say this word. They're at a tangent. They're adjacent to normal, perhaps. Don't put me in a box, man. Iron Imp is saying, like celebrating the quirks of a particular instrument, like some sound design pack focused on Sherman filter bank squeals, or EMF field emissions, or waters and fluids, or cybernetics, etc. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Connected saying it's funny because I make music with a lot of textures and abstract sounds. Big fan. Yeah, it's true. It's like that's the stuff that really what we say we feel. You know what I mean? Like when there's lots of textures and really kind of abstract or ambiguous things that allow us to feel, and kind of impart our own feelings, emotions, thoughts on what we're hearing, whatnot. Yeah, I think that's part of what makes us feel so artistic for so many people, right? Because if everything was super predictable or mainstream, then which I think just means has been done before and now someone is copying it. I think that's all that really means. Um, anyway, it's good. Yeah, STP saying Tipper, Jade, Cicada, that crew uses those sounds in a lot of their tracks. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I skipped one. And Drumick says, because I usually make non-typical, non-mainstream music sounds, try to wrap my brain around how I package my sounds if I go this direction. Ooh, okay. Well, Zen, I think you already have like a pretty solid thing. You you create palettes of sounds out of a single sound, and that is the theme right there. It is the theme. I've done similar things in the past. Um, Danny from Imaginate does a very similar thing. These things work because it's tangible, and people can be really impressed by the idea of, look, it's a fork. I made 2,000 sounds from a fork, and now they are yours. And they're like, how could you possibly get 2,000 sounds out of a fork? And they're all relevant? How? Or whatever it is. It's not 2,000 sounds. That would be ridiculous. Um, but regardless of the number of sounds in the pack, as long as you have a connection with the audience, then you're probably going to do well. If you're just simply putting out your stuff to put out your stuff the way that you do your stuff, then you have a hobby, and people that come along and find it are going to help support your hobby. But if you're actually like putting stuff out there that you know people are going to want more of, and you're doing it for that reason, then you could start actually making a little bit of coin there, because those people are they're going to continue to support you because they want more of that stuff. But yeah, very very thematic, I think. Very much find a niche and fill it. Velvet Cheese is asking a sound design question. Have you seen any software that isolates initial transients and allows you to modify them? Why, yes, I have. Many of them. And in fact, one of the new partners that we will be taking a good long look at, and we'll use some of them in this new pack that we're going to start on today. This is going to be Impacts Volume 2 over at GhostTac. This will be a chance for us to show off little something from our friends at Time Off Audio. This is their very first product called Dime TT. And what this does is it allows you to affect the transient and the tonal parts of the body of a sound independently. And then, of course, mix those two. This would be full transient. This would be full tonal. You can load in your own third-party VSTs into both, and then you can mix them accordingly. It's a very, very simple concept. This type of thing has been done before, just not quite as well and quite as elegantly, I think, as this. So here's one option. Velvet. There are others, but in regards to isolating, this is probably maybe the best option out there right now. This is Time Off Audio. A little. Link in the chat here. There you go. And we'll get them on the show too. You guys can like have a chance to bounce questions and whatnot. Connected is saying, my issue is how do I group glitches and textures and have them stay clean in the song amidst the basses and other elements. That's actually, in my opinion, it's one of the more simple things. It's much more of a less is more thing, where you can think of them as a topper, right? These, like the little glitch elements and stuff, they have no problem cutting through a mix because their frequencies are so sharp, so high, oftentimes anyway. So you can oftentimes just leave them out of the greater mix until the very end. And the reason I say that is because all of your other stuff is going to involve your time-based effects to help gel them together in different ways. If you leave stuff on the outside of that, it's going to sit right on the surface, right? You can kind of manipulate just how flat or dimensional they really appear, but they can be held in a space that's kind of um, liminal almost, right? In perception of the listener. Saffron says, I think experimental sound packs as farm markets where anyone sells raw ingredients you wouldn't find in a mainstream grocery store. That's a beautiful way of looking at it, actually, Saffron, right? Like these are the spices. Um, yeah, these are like the exotic spices that you hope to find. Those those specialty shops and stuff. Absolutely. Yeah. Yo, Tipper's father. Yeah, right? Yeah. Shout out. Absolute. Mainstream, it's like people are demanding a product, so you must serve it. Mm. Yeah, the expectations being met. Yeah, absolutely, right? STP saying, y'all got to check out the Brian Eno interview. He showed Zane a random ambient generator program that creates tracks from his 10,000 plus tracks he's made. He said that it could generate trillions of variations. Yeah, exactly. See, this is the type of thing that I've been talking about for the past couple of years about how I think that like that's the type of thing that artists can really embrace on the AI side of things, right? Is um, just simply working within your own body of works and exploring wild variations just simply through like matching and commingling stuff in different ways. It's just utterly fascinating. Utterly fascinating. So good. I am absolutely going to watch the Brian Eno interview for sure. Sure. It's become the AI magician. Oh man. Yeah, and there are some decent stem separation tools. IronIp is pointing that out too. We put one into the new marketplace, and it works pretty well. Um, yeah, I think they'll all be kind of ubiquitous soon. Yeah, I love glitches too, and I think the more you try to like manage them, the less effective they tend to be in a mix, and the more you allow them to exist kind of in their like true noisy broken nature, the better they translate in pretty much any kind of a mixer application. Um, but really it's that kind of surface level visceral contact feel when you feel the like circuitry sparking or like the mechanics like stuttering or something that really that's really what gets you, right? Is that really kind of close tactile. Yeah, absolutely. So Drummer says mainstream is when everyone competes for the same parking spot. Oh, HR Terror says, with that many tracks, you don't need AI, just a program that randomly pulls stems. Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways in which you can do it, right? Yeah, it's yeah, absolutely. Ironum says, it pisses me off just a bit how easy RDJ, Apex Twins, etc. makes glitches composition sound. Right? Right? Yeah, it's true. It's all about being playful for them, I think, and then just like it's essence of the moment stuff. Truly. Okay, so we plugged in a thing. Let's make some noise and some more things. Do we have sound here? I do not see sound here. Turn on contact. I still see no sound. Do I have my stuff on? It says I have MIDI coming in. Oh, I probably just not on the. There we go. All right, so we can make things go boom. All right, so for these, what I typically like to do is, and these are going to be impacts, which are a little different than hits. Um, I think what we're probably going to do here is just layer a couple of sounds. Um, I don't know that we're really going to get all that lucky doing this inside contract contact rack completely, but we'll try. I'm going to take an oil drum, dumpster, and we're going to combine them. Give me just a second and just dialing in the space here, getting the ball. There's a balance of 3 different reverb spaces, close, room, and fall here. We're going to aim right for kind of a median depth on most of these so people can use them in both trailer applications and in normal scene work. That'll make them still applicable in a lot of music. All right, let's just get our size down just a bit. There we go. Let's get that up the same way. All right, lastly, let's just take the tuning down on these. All right, I'm going to hit record on this for just a bit. So set up a capture track. We're going to set up save file. All right, so in here, all this. I guess we should probably put that. Yep. One. Set up a cap. Okay, we can record our audio direct. I'm just going to set my output damage here. Bus. That bus is the input. Let's capture track. What is Thrill and Mysteria? They're rad. I'll show them to you here in a little bit. They're scoring tools, and they're made by a company called Cinematic Tools. They're really really great. They're an XY grid driven um, multi sampler that allows you to make like stingers, pads, atmospheres, stuff like that in a really dynamic way where you can be um, triggering keys and modulating with the XY grid and macro effects simultaneously for really profound, like emotive, dynamic stuff. That's really good stuff. You've heard me use it in making several different libraries. It is right up your alley. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. All right, so I'm going to hit record on a few of these here. All right, and of course, some of those sound a little similar, which is exactly what we play with pitch and distortion and a whole bunch of other things. Start processing these. Set up a little resting track for these guys here. It's down there. Just really quick, while it's still fresh in our mind, Connected was asking about these tools, Thrill and Hysteria. They're really cool, or Mysteria. They're made by the same folks. This one is more choral. This one is more horror. We'll start with this horror one here. They both have this tension running through them, which make them incredible scoring tools. So Thrill, you'll notice, is going to be a lot of stringed instruments and synths that get combined in some pretty chilling ways. They take just a moment to load. They're huge. This is 42 gig instrument, something like that. It's big. It's big. So it's all psychoacoustic, XY. Yeah, exactly. And if we go in here, you can see how these guys are loaded up. There's a slot for each one on each side. And when you go to look at each one of these, you have control over voicing parameters and effects. You can load in the different source sounds, include them in effects or not include them in effects. You have the that you have the ability to maintain all of the programming of the patch and load in different instruments for quick swap, which is super, super good for productivity. Really, really, really high quality recordings. So very high file sizes. Takes a moment to load some of the patches, but once they're in there, it's just unstoppable. Yeah, it's just flying through so many samples as you're moving through different parts of this grid. Pretty phenomenal stuff. You can have up to 4 samples loaded, 2 on each side. Really, just a fantastic piece of kit, really. I hear you connected. Yeah, we stay in our lanes, right? I don't really compose like you do, so we need each other, right? Hey, Rains Phoenix is here. How you doing, man? Um, yeah, Iron Imp is right. You're really trying to maximize the number of sweet spots a user can hit if you're using an XY grid, and it gives the sound designers, the programmers, a way to um, exploit the same material in different ways again and again. Um, and that provides a huge amount of continuity, um, and helps create kind of a signature sound, right? Yeah, those things are pretty darn essential. Yeah, Paul, you can absolutely modulate the like you can put LFOs on these obviously and just start going to town. And when you actually start getting into the the programming of all of this stuff, you can set up the depth and range for each of these to be fairly subtle. So when you do get a little chaotic with your modulations, it doesn't translate as absolute chaos in the output. Um, yeah, it's nice. It's nice. They've done an incredible job. The Mysteria one is equally as good. Although I think you get a little bit more character out of it than you do the thrill at times, just because of the emotive quality of voices. And so this is very much vocally driven, where the other one is very orchestrally driven. Made by the same folks, though. What's going on with the UI here? Maybe I need to do a quick update. Yeah, I'm not seeing the graphics here. I probably need an update on this. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. Let's load up another damage kit here. Uh, okay, let's do a spring drum. Oops, spring drum. We're gonna take the all down. Play with these settings for just a sec. These are good for layering, good for layers. We're going to take our room down and our hall down so we get less ambience off this thing. So now a deeper impact sitting here a little bit better. Let's go this guy. Connected is asking, what does patch morphing mean? Like combining many patches together, like they're melting into one another? Yeah, just moving between the different positions in the XY grid, because what you're actually doing there in a lot of cases is you're moving between uh, one sample selection and another, or different modulation choices affecting those different samples. So there's some cross-fading happening there, as well as some processing um, and whatnot. Oh, this only has the two sounds. Better one. Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't definitely don't want you feeling like we're we're talking down or anything. Everybody learns it at some point, right? All right, so we're going to get the volume down on the spring drum just a bit, so they feel a little bit more uh, like they're along for the ride. Feels a little bit better. I think we need. I need a different layer here. Hold on just a second. Some of these. These feel too much like hits. I'm gonna take a different route here. Let's go and let's pull up some random sounds from the Finder. Let's go. Okay, here's some sounds from a warehouse. So we've got some space kind of backing these sounds. It sounds kind of quiet to you guys. Yo, Speak Melon. How you doing? None of these. I don't want any of those. I will find this in just a moment. I'm not quite sure why I'm having a hard time finding it, but got a folder, just a bunch of raw impact type sounds. Oh, sure where it is. So I'm gonna go grab a different one. I got like 3 or 4 of these. Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm not finding. Okay, well, back to my external drive then. Back of sounds to work. Find those later. So weird. I kind of want to just grab it from my drive really quick. I think that'll be easier because otherwise I'm just going to chase my tail and feel like I'm not finding my stuff. Okay. Background music for you guys. Something weird. Browsing music. Okay. There it is. I knew I'd find it eventually. Paul says, if you put your toys away when you're finished playing with them, you wouldn't lose them. Yeah, I don't know. There's been a couple of weird things on the computer lately where like things have been moved and I have not moved them, and I don't think Nico's moved them. I'm not sure. I don't know. Oh, you are welcome, Zen. Zen is saying, by the way, thanks for the tips on Soothe. Not using Soothe, but a multiband dynamic. Instead, I found some spots that have improved my overall sound. Nice, nice. Yeah, it's a nice little trick there. All right, so we're going to open up this pack over here. Great. Okay, so in here, got just a whole bunch really good different drops, drags, stuff. Okay, let's start with wood and work our way up. That one's kind of good. Got a double impact right off the bat. Oh, I need contact. I'm going to open up a new instance really quick, get it worked into our signal flow. So wooden blocks together. Get a plastic in here. This guy doesn't have quite as much resonance. That's a little better. All right, so we're going to take our volume on our high one down and volume on our low one up. Iron M says, woodblock is begging my ears for a little slap back echo. So I don't know if that's appropriate for context. We'll find out together. We're going to get this a little tighter. Guys, I keep thinking about these new tools that I want to be playing with. This new granular synth is, well, and it's not new as a thing. We're late to the party on it by a year or two, but it is so flippin' awesome. How many of you have heard of Dawsome as an awesome, but Daw Dawsome? Guitar. Right. Gate. Yeah, Octaver. Matches that. All right, I'm gonna grab just a couple of those. Set this up on the same bus as the other guy. This feeds right into the same recording track. Okay, one of those guys is useful in there. It's down on this track with that one. All right, let's get out of the plastic and the wood. I just need just a couple little sounds from each one of these guys, and I can just manipulate the rest. Glass, debris, dirt, leather. This guy. Sounds like melee. Nice little like wind up in this. It feels like a ball hitting a mitt or something. All right, we're gonna put something maybe metallic. Ah. All right, let's get these tightened up just a little bit. All right, we're gonna grab this guy. Maybe one a couple. Oh. Cool. Okay. Next, let's get out of this two. Let's grab a couple out of the contact instruments here. Let's grab something out of action strikes. Oh, Paul has Zyklop. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, it's really cool stuff, you guys. There is this there's this one called Novum. We'll take a look at it. I've got them all here. It's just absolutely fascinating. The capability of this thing. Oh, and Iris is really cool too. I like the idea of Iris too. Yeah, we'll take a look at all of them. But this one, Novum. Novum. Absolutely phenomenal. It's got so much built into the drag and drop UI system that it's going to be hard to stop. Like, that's why we're not looking at it today. It's going to be really, really, really hard for me to stop once I get going, because I've got, I mean, I've got like terabytes of stuff that we could just put into this, right? So there's a really big problem ahead of us in regards to we need a new braking system or something for live streams, because I've got a handful of these, and um, they're not the only folks that have sent over like a bunch of stuff recently. It's the other big problem. Abyss is pretty interesting too. It's this visual uh, synthesizer. It works with colors. It kind of reminds me of XO from XLN Audio, just a bit. Myth is so super cool. It works off this concept of two irises, and the irises are your oscillators. And you can send modulators around the irises as they're oscillating, and it opens up just some really, really fascinating possibilities. So yeah, we will. Yeah, Paul, that's exactly the plan. We're going to do a deep dive with a few of their projects. Peter, right now, the guy that does all of the coding work, is deep down a rabbit hole, a dev rabbit hole right now. So when he comes up for air, we'll get him on the show. But I'm stoked to get these things in front of you guys, because they're really interesting. Very forward thinking, innovative stuff. Some of the concepts lurking in here kind of remind me a little bit of some Blink Sonic stuff. Just really cool. Just really, really cool stuff. Zyklop is a pirate myth. Yes, it is. Yes. Yeah, the XO library does go hard. Yeah, it's so good. It's it every day. Um, yeah, it's so tempting just to jump right in and not stop. You know what I mean? I've got them all just kind of sitting here. Maybe we'll do a couple of just like late night exploratory streams with the granular guy. All right, if we go into action strikes, we go just into the hits. I'm trying to remember if there are kits in here. Not really. They have the The SFX percussion kits, no. Automatic selection, no. But they do have some bigger deep end drums that we can use as layering tools. I think we'll probably do that because there's going to have to be a few metal on metal impacts that are going to need a little kind of big beefy bass drum underneath it so they feel like or like a collision. Okay. So that means we're going to need to find that other folder of sounds that I couldn't find earlier, huh? It's got like all my sledgehammers and stuff in it. Okay, well, let's go ahead and grab a couple of from in here at least. Like this one's pretty good. It's pretty transparent. And maybe this one. All right, we're going to grab a couple. All right, we're going to take those three. We're going to put those back down on our resting track here. Nice little layering elements there. Ludi! How you doing, man? You grab those bees? Oh, don't forget, if you are currently subbed to the channel, to the Twitch stream, you have free samples waiting for you, and they are in the subscriber rewards channel on the Discord. Looking at you, Paul. Do I have time for some feedback? For you, Ludi? Yes, I do. I can do that. Yeah, you are welcome. They're actually from a company from way back in the day called Tonehammer, and Tonehammer eventually became ADO and not Spitfire, ADO and oh gosh, why am I not remembering there? Hey, Boke Nero's here. How you doing? Oh, you grabbed him last week. Excellent. Ooh, new TV. Nice, Boke Nero. What kind of TV you get? I am getting old, right, Ludi? I am getting old. That's exactly what's happening. I've just been pulled in so many directions lately. I need a break. That's what I need. Need like a month off and some sand, sunshine. That sounds delightful, right? Sounds so good. Okay, back to what I was doing. We're going to look at the general category. Oh, I remember. I remember where it is. It's not sitting on this desk right now. That's why I'm not finding it. I remember where it is. Okay. I feel so much less insane now. Thank goodness. Okay. But it does kind of leave me in a lurch here for what I want to put together for these hits, because I do, or for these impacts. because I do want to stay in kind of a specific realm for them. It is part of an ongoing series. It's a volume 2, so I need to stay kind of in my lane with that. And I don't really want to get into post-processing, so maybe we should dip into one of the new toys today. Maybe we should. Paul says, crazy busy here, but they have been installed in the OhmLab. Oh, nice. Nice, Paul. Hey, how are things going modding for the new YouTube channel? Book says, I wanted to ask you about sound packs. How would I calculate the price of a pack? Do I put whatever I think it's worth? What's the process? Me and Roy are trying to figure out the price of our full pack once it's done. Yeah, I can help you with that. Ludy saying, but the older you get, the prettier you become. Aw. Aw, thanks, man. Like George Clooney. Aw. So, Paul says you could consider the you choose price model. I don't like the you choose price model for a number of reasons, just because the large majority of people will actually not end up supporting you. And that can lead to a big amount of feelings that can just end all of it. So I wouldn't do that. I would put a price tag on it personally. And then do either the low cost option or do a little taster pack, like a little demo pack of the bigger thing. So people that don't have money to burn in that exact moment can at least get a taste of it, and your name can be on their computer. They'll find those sounds. They'll come back to eventually. But in regards to what you're going to sell it for, that's a good question. This is going to come down to what is actually included. Okay, because the cost, it's all about perception of value. So the perception of just a sample pack versus a pack with MIDI clips and presets or something, for instance, is vastly different. So it'd be good to know just kind of the size and scope before I started guiding you in any one direction. But you do also want to keep in mind the fact that you want to kind of future-proof your pricing model. You want to give yourself enough space to have discounts and coupons around holidays or big events or whatnot. You also will, if you continue doing this, you may eventually want to bundle that pack with a couple of other packs, right, within a specific theme or something, which means a lower cost to sell. So you need to have a little bit of margin to work with in regards to pricing flexibility, just for yourself. And then also, if you're contemplating allowing these to be sold in marketplaces, like third-party marketplaces, then you want to make sure that you've got enough in the price to protect against the splits, because you're going to take 50%, basically. You're going to take 50% of whatever the pack is sold for in most marketplaces. I mean, if you're just starting out, it might be even a little bit worse in some cases, I'd imagine nowadays. But just kind of imagine that you're going to get a 50% split. And if there's two of you going in on this and you're doing a 50% split, then you'd be getting 25% of those. So you just, those are things just to kind of keep in mind after you get ideas from other people about pricing models and stuff. Oh, and also, where would you recommend selling Gumroad? Cool places. Yeah, so there's the approach of selling Gumroad, or like yourself, right, where you are just fully independent, and that's all well and good, but then you have to become a business that becomes somewhat focused on marketing instead of producing, and that's going to be going to be a really, really big adjustment for you, especially because you're in the midst of a rather prolific production boom right now. So I would kind of advise you against that, honestly. I mean, you can sell your stuff yourself. Obviously, you should. But surviving through marketplaces is really the way to go if you're going to go that route, because they are the ones that are concerned about the traffic, and they get more traffic every single day if they're a good marketplace. It's not going in a backwards direction for them. What they need is really good producers to keep bringing top shelf stuff. Is what you would be focused on. So I would probably steer you in the direction of that, knowing that you guys have a pretty fresh sound. Um, yeah, for what it's worth. And of course, since these are like video game sounds and not music sounds, you're probably not going to be finding your stuff moving in a place like um, ADSR in the same way, but you might find it moving okay in a place like Splice, where you have a little bit more, um, I guess, diversity in the producer types that are coming through. But a sound effect would be kind of a cool place to check out. Yeah, does Gumroad have a discovery area in it now? I know it's been discussed. Yeah, yeah. So you can. There is a discovery aspect to it. It just doesn't have as big of traffic as some places is all. But it is a place. That's the bigger thing. The other thing is then just partnerships. Because people find out about these things word of mouth until you've actually built up a reputation as a brand, which can take years. And just being realistic about it, right? Um, Paul, you take care, homie. Good luck out there. Yeah, Iron Imp says if you're selling game assets, you could look at the Unity or Unreal storefronts. Absolutely. And you're also selling stuff that is being experienced in the Roblox realm, and that kind of gives you access to a community right there already. Hmm. And Saf, yeah, if you're going to sell that type of sound, I wouldn't do it through a place like Pond 5 or any of those types of libraries. I would do it in packs probably. Um, yeah. Unknown's here. Yeah, we are doing some chat. Absolutely. Opening day in Oriole Land. Well, hey, congratulations over there. Oh, nice. Yeah, Boke, I think that's the way to do it. I mean, I think you're thinking the right thing. You have a sound that is going to be sought after. You just have to put it in front of people. And if you're sharing stuff in servers with a couple 100,000 people, then you're probably going to get more impact out of that than trying to run a couple of ads on some social platform. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if people are asking about the price for that, it really comes down to the size, right? And how you want to be perceived. And there's a few different pricing models that you could look at that are used by popular companies. But ultimately, it comes down to price value perception. You want to over deliver on the quality, and then you'll never run into complaints about quantity. That's number one. And then number two, partnership, partnership, partnership. Price points are so flexible. It's so varied across the board. Depends on where you want to come in in the bigger landscape of competition. You know what I mean? Um, it's very easily argued that those types of sounds are not readily available um, to the masses by and large, so you can sell them for a pretty nice premium, but you do kind of run the risk of pricing yourself out of the mainstream category or demographic groups. So there's some stuff to consider. There's some stuff to consider, and I think it's why you see different size packs. And some companies have a free pack or a light pack, or I don't know. To me, it gets really gimmicky when you see different versions of the same product, I don't like that. I just don't like that. It makes me feel like as a customer, I've either missed out on something, or as a person that runs a business like this, like it makes me feel like my customers are being um, alienated in some way. So I personally don't do that. Um, I just keep prices low and let people share their opinions about stuff. Connected, no, we do not do just music on Fridays. We do sound design too. So if you want to bring by sound design, yeah. Tomba, welcome. Welcome. Ironim says, without derailing this further into business discussion, it's worth also expecting an initial cluster of sales and then much more subdued long tail revenue. Yeah, so that's why the sustained production effort that I was mentioning earlier is essential. So there's a couple of things that, like, you cannot maintain success without a couple of things. You have to have a couple of workhorses, and workhorses are products that will continue to sell. They're evergreen, and pretty much no matter what you do, they do continue to sell. So if you really understand the industry and your customer base, then you're going to be able to identify what those things might be that you can provide, right? And spoiler alert, it's not going to be kicks and snares. Everybody has kicks and snares. But, some stuff that will make people go, whoa, I can't do that. I don't know how they do that. That's one thing. Another thing could be, like, these guys are so on top of the pulse of this genre or of this scene. So they're turning to you they're usually looking for new volumes in ongoing series. But what you're providing to them is this ongoing steady drip of something that it's changing over time. It's evolving over time. So you're giving them kind of a current snapshot of something. So evergreen or meme, those are kind of the two main flavors that you have to operate with. So you have to keep a balance, and you have to keep your foot on the accelerator, right? Because if you stop producing and you stop releasing, then people don't know your brand anymore. And there's a lot of brands out there with a lot of titles. So to get your brand to get to that sticky point, it's got to be around for a little while for people to recognize it. Boke says, and hey, look what I found. I got some old song IDs for you if you want to check them out. I randomly found them on my SoundCloud. It's like 9. Oh, wow. Oh, Ludi, you are golden. I'll go check that in just one sec. Ooh, and Boke, if you want to share your sound, you can. I'm stoked that you're making your own game. That's awesome. Awesome. Proud of you for doing that. You guys see the new darker theme from Discord? This one's called No Stress. Let's listen. I like it. I like it. I dig all the reversals. I think the offbeat hat can come down just a smidge. I love the sample. The That little whistle of resonance in the background is super sick. I love that. It's like stealthy. Um, I don't have big critiques for you on this one, dude. It's good. Yeah, like Syndromic is saying, it is good. This is solid. When was the last time you brought by something that we could like pick apart? Just saying, I mean, what about our egos, dude? Come on. Come on. No, it's really good. Freaking great. No bees though. I didn't hear any bees. But seriously though, that little tiny whistle of resonance is just like everything in this track. It's so good. I love it. It's a nice little touch. Bees are coming up. Good. Excellent. Bees. More bees. I bet if we made bee music, this is just an idea. If we introduced bee house, the bee community at large, those worried about our ability to eat in the future and stuff, they would be sharing bee music so much. We could like, I don't know, donate half the proceeds and still make bank. Ah, that's too exploitive. I'm sorry. Let's listen to this. This is Smart Lap. No feedback is good feedback. It reminds me of the electric company. No news is good news. This is Gary Gnews. Save the bees. Exactly. Exactly. Buzz some bee house. All right, here's some Ard Lap. Let's listen to some Ard Lap. What do we got?
Don't kill my vibe. Don't kill my vibe.
These are dope. Well, that was fun. That was fun. Man. Who, when, why? Oh, nice. This is your brother connected? That's nice. Bulk, that was rad. That was a nice little mix up there. Man. Okay, Bulk is saying this is from last stream. Fresher sounds. You can compare these two. You're wondering why metal sounds. It's because the character will use metal arms. You can actually watch the previous one first. See what this is all about here. Yeah. Yeah, dude. That's great. And an old OhmLab track. All right, let's listen to the old track. Dude, this is great sound. That's great sound. It's really good stuff.
16-cylinder, 8-liter two-stage turbocharger is a beast of an engine. Equipped with that engine, the Bugatti Super Sport became the very first production car to ever break 300 miles per hour. It's a hell of a beast.
Yeah. Yo, folk, this is great. This is flippin' fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. Folk started doing some sound design, and now he's fully down the hole, and he can't get himself out. Connected. I would say yes to you, but right now I'm in a holding pattern as well. I am. In fact, Saf, if you're still listening, I need to tell you that after this next session, it's probably going to be a little bit before we can do another one. I know, I just up juggling a little bit too much at once. So, but, do we know anyone? Yeah, I'm sure we probably do. You want me to get into the game side of things? Open DAW, poke button, slide faders, brake plugins, you've landed. Look at that. Easy step-by-step instructions. Almost like having an easy bake oven. What are we doing here? I have something from Zendremic in here. Are we just feedbacking now? Are we feedbacking? Okay, but I can't do more than this, you guys, because I have to go meet with Evans the Bard here in just a little bit. So I'm gonna say closing this surprise. All right, let's see what you guys brought, because I'm obviously not making much productivity happen with the impacts right now, am I? The Drumic says you need a break. You can listen to the sounds of button pushing and lever sliding. Feedback is encouraged. Ambient cyberpunk. Syndremic says, honestly, I am the best step-by-step instructor. I should open a school. Please list the steps. Ta-da! Dude, Simdremic, this was fantastic. These plucks feel physical. That's a compliment. Are you releasing your stuff right now? Yes, it is a compliment. If by that I mean it feels like you've recorded this, like you've picked up something, and you've started like plucking these little things with your thumbs or something, making these sounds, but you haven't. It's all just made out of the same drop of water, and it's lovely. Okay, so you haven't started releasing these yet. Yeah, I just, there's so much bubbling in what you make. Just so much potential in all of it. Man. You guys are putting out too much good stuff right now. It makes me feel like we really should make some sort of a run at a little community label here or something. Connected, let's I don't want to get hopes up because my schedule tends to be just unbearably busy. But let's keep this conversation going and see if maybe there is a way to find some hours somewhere. Well, that's the thing. Unknown is, yeah, we would have to is like, it's not that we couldn't stop the feedback Fridays. We would want to keep them, but we would have to make a big adjustment to just a lot of stuff and involve other people, and it would mean retooling just a bunch of my business, and it's be a lot. Yeah. That is kind of what we need, though. But I do envision a few things that could be rather revolutionary, that could be largely powered by the community, which would help keep everything super above board and ultra democratic in how everything is handled. But still, giving birth to the whole dang thing is huge. Yeah. Is a lot. All right, I've got a few more minutes here. Let's listen to Unknown. This one's called Blossom. Dude, Zin, I don't have anything for you on this one. Like, I have no critiques for you on this one. I was just absolutely floating in bliss on this one. Absolutely. Yo, I love this sample. It's such a great sample. Lovely, lovely mix with the palette of sounds that you've got in your music. It's really good. Really good balance overall. I think hats can come down just a little bit and bass can come down just a little bit. Low end cutoff can come up just a little bit to 50 hertz, 12 dB per octave. Otherwise, I think it sounded really good. It's really good stuff. Of course, of course. Hope it vibes with you. Connected. Let's see what you cooked up. Oh, hold on a second. A second. But if only one, you're doing both is fine. Wait, hold on a second. Which one did I not click? Did I click the wrong link in the Discord? Ah, yes, yes. Let me think. How much time do we have? We've got these 3 tracks. We got. How long are these tracks? Let's take a look. 2, 4. What's this one? Yeah, I'll just speak quickly. We'll listen to both. Oh. This one's really cool. It's like full of this ambiguity and it leaves everything feeling like so mysterious and kind of stealthy in a way. Um, okay, I love the vibe right out the gate. I think the low end bass element can use a little more saturation just to provide more edge. I think the ARP is sick. Not even sure what it is, honestly, if it's a flute or a vocal chop or what. 108, the bass swell can have more saturation, blooming while it's actively being delivered, so I guess some modulation cooking, just like a little automation curve. Is this vocal fully centered or is it tilted to the right? It's a flute. Okay, it's super dope. It's got a little bit of that kind of White Lotus kind of thing with the repetitious art. Awesome. You don't know even. Okay, so I would say that it'd be great to have the vocal more fully centered because it feels like it's tilted to the right, which makes me feel like that depending upon the playback system that people are listening on, they might be missing part of that, and it's some pretty saucy vocal work. So I'd want that centered. Um, yeah, the biggest feedback that I have on this, like in ways in which you could prove, are saturation driven and actively um, twisting knobs, right, and recording live instead of pointing and clicking and trying to get the right values in the right static positions or whatever, but just actually writing a knob and getting some automation recorded into the DAW. Make those swells just feel a little bit more alive, I think. Um, yeah, I think that's probably your next thing, honestly, because what I'm hearing in this and in your other stuff is all of the right choices and all of the right things, but with uh, a like I desire more of a human touch to it, right? More of a like I'm gonna ride this to the very last second, and now I'm gonna turn it, like with like some actual like force here, right at the very last little bit. And it's hard to get a shape like that by just clicking a couple of breakpoints. Um, it's so much easier to just draw in a linear thing and go. I think that's probably the next thing. You're a keyboard warrior. Yeah, same. Same. Yeah. Yeah, I think that this is probably going to help you unlock a couple of things because it's not just writing a knob with saturation that you can do this with, right? You can also do this with the wet dry on a delay, for instance, right? Or you could do it with the detuning of a synth with active modulation, right? So as you're listening through, like you've finished the entire thing. So now you want the whole thing to just feel like there's just like something like bigger happening to all of it. Well, you can just go in and play with the detuning of like your main pads or something on the entire track, right? Just the entire time, just keeping people right on the edge of their seat that way. I think that's kind of maybe your next step. Yeah. All right. Next, this one is Emergence V2. Excellent. I'm glad you resonate. That was great. I love the field recording in there. The first vocal, I think, feels maybe a little bit small in the space. I think that the second vocal that comes in, it stands up a little bit more upright and holds its own with the bass element. And the first vocal element I felt a little um, um, not like, I don't know. I think the bass was just a little bit too big over it. 59 seconds, great build. But I think you lost some distinction in there. I think you can try carving away a few elements. They don't need to disappear entirely, but actively creating separation over time is a really good way to handle busy lanes of traffic. So you've got a few different things here that are kind of building. The pad-ish element, the sustained element can come down the most, I think. But they don't need to stay in those locked positions relatively. They can meander and inverted and whatnot over time. The other thing I'd point out in relation to this comment here is the fact that there's no dynamics in the track right now. So right there could have been a big valley floor that we were surging up out of up to a full mix dynamic. And then that way in doing so, I would have felt differently about this moment. 151. These little perk glitch toppers. I think they could be filtered or otherwise manipulated in really, really subtle ways over time. Just really tiny changes in timbre. Just to make us lean in a bit more. Yeah, we done derailed productivity entirely today, huh? That's okay though. That's what Mondays are for. I feel like this whole mix is cooked. Yeah, do it again then. Just start over with the mix. Start it over. But keep the music. Like keep everything the same. Just D2, my friend. D2. Larry. There we go. Got it. Hey, it's you. Okay, here we go. This one is demo featuring Angelus. Finished the song like an hour ago. Oh, super fresh. Okay, let's do this then. Oh man, I miss ice cream so much. That ice cream looks good.
Dropped out of 16, 2020 breaking down to my wrist blade. I turned 20 now, I thought I'd be 60. I do what I want, nigga, you can't make me. Dropped out of 16, I remember all the times that you held me. I way back at you now, how does it feel? I still think about it all, this shit unreal. This said it be your own, but it could never be mine. Getting mad and said you not, then you apologize. I ain't worried about you, girl, we look like 2 times. You told me that you miss me, but you never had me first try. Goodbye, not shy, don't cry. When I said I'm outside, it's me and Twitch and wine. But I'm turning back, just don't shit come inside. Better shut up, hop out with that, stay out with that gun. Say 25, bitch, I'll never step out on the run. Just tryna see some, bitch, I hit your DM, shit undone. Now she calling my phone just for some fun. Yeah, okay, take a picture front, hit it back. 2020, I was checking all this shit like no back. Yeah, I got nothing to lose, but she not hit a check. Me and Megan going crazy, yo, you know we're in our bag. So why you talking to me? Talk about my fashion, baby, you mean nothing to me. I just wanna cash it, at this point you're lying to me. At this point you're lying to me, so better shut up, hop out with that, stay out with that gun. 2025, bitch, I'll never step out on the run. Just tryna see some, bitch, I hit your DM, shit undone. Now she calling my phone just for some fun. Dropped out of 16, 2020 breaking down to my wrist blade. I turned 20 now, I thought I'd be 60. I do what I want, nigga, you can't make me. Dropped out of 16, I remember all the times that you held me. I way back at you now, how does it feel? I still think about it all, this shit unreal.
Yo, I think this one's pretty solid. I dig the ARP. It feels right. I think the bass is a little bit too loud. I think on its own, it's fine where it is, but when the ARP is popping off in the mix, I feel like it's kind of hard to hear the ARP in a couple of spots. So bring down the bass, good 4 dB or so. Bring the low end up to 40 hertz, 12 dB per octave curve. If that ARP is still just a little bit tucked under the bass, you can try shaving off some of the lowest frequencies off of the ARP itself, and it should be lifted up above the bass by that. You can also just hit it with just a little bit of saturation so it sticks out in the mix a little bit more. It doesn't need to be distortion, doesn't need to be anything gritty, but just like a little overdrive or something, and maybe target like 3 to 5K, and that'll generate a little bit more harmonic information in those sounds in that ARP, and it'll be heard a little bit more readily in the mix without doing anything else to it. Okay, and at 129, the effects that get sent back to left and right really quick, I'd bring that down. That was a little bit ear grabby there. Otherwise, I think this one sounds pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. Freshies. All right, kitty cats. I should move along because I'm gonna go jump into a call with our friend Evans the Bard, who's not streaming right now because we're gonna go meet. So I'm going to see who is streaming. We'll take you over there. I'll jump on this other call. And we're not going to do a stream in 2 days. Normally we have a stream on Wednesdays. We're not doing the stream on Wednesdays this week because I'm going to go chaperone a field trip to a farm. Doing that instead of playing with you guys on Wednesday. But we'll be back on Friday. And you guys will be expected to bring a lot of awesome music with you. So do that. Let's see. Let's take ourselves over. Oh, the Funky Spud has a new room. Let's go say hi to the Funky Spud. It's been a long minute since we've paid them a visit. I will see you guys on Friday. And until then, I hope you stay inspired. All that good stuff. I will try to do the same. And I'll be productive. But until then, stay awesome. Know that you're appreciated, and I'll see you on the flip. Peace out.